Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom, and I'm the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. And this is titled, The Internet Has Lied About the Male, the Arrena, in Revelations, that it is not male, and has also changed it in Strong's Concordance. And this is in response to the work I've done and the work that I've done in the last 6 months, which clearly proves that the church was never expecting a man to come down. They were never expecting Christ to come back. And so what they've done is they've gone through and fabricated it. And when I was getting ready to put this last little bit out, to give you some idea, this really does describe why they're hitting me so constantly. The church, be it the synagogue, I don't care what kind of church it is, modern churches, men have been controlling women's voices, women's words, women's everything, and have bred them to be in a particular way, which is the way you breed a cow or a man, in order to get what they wanted from them. And so what they are is their entire ideology is extremely misogynistic, and what came out of Rome and what came out of the Christian church was not the Church of the Nazarenes. And so we're going to go in and take a look at this, because they actually went in and changed the Strongs, and they changed certain things online for Google. So it's important to see what parts we're talking about. So let's go in and take a peek at this, because I don't want to, and remember, men co-opt these things, just like what's happening with the Mary Magdalene thing going on with the 6 petals, and all of that had nothing to do with actually Mary Magdalene. There's a high probability that that altar that was picked up that they found several years ago is more fairy tale stuff, just like the oldest case of Hebrew that was dug into someplace in the desert around Egypt that's supposed to go back to like 1800 BC, which, you know, they're talking about a party that they've been to and what the goddess is doing. No, nobody's going to do this. Come on, let's get real about this. And that can't be dated properly to begin with. So what they do is they say, oh, look, this happened in Magdalene. Look, this is about the marriage. And look, this is about Mary Magdalene. But the thing is that they're still totally controlling this dialogue, or at least they're trying to, while they try to figure out how they're going to do a sin. So let's come out of this and let's stop seeing me for a moment, so that we get an eye of, I was shocked when I saw they had changed this, just shocked, and you're going to be shocked too. So we're going to take about 20 minutes to go through and see this. This is what I did earlier today. This is when I did it. I did it about an hour beforehand. It was shocking for me. I'm going to post this online. But it was shocking when I did this, and we're just going to open it up for a moment so that you know what the beginning looks like, because I'm going to put this online. Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom. I'm the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. Okay, so it starts here.
All right, so
there it
let's
is.
go into Revelation 12, because I'm going to show that in Revelations
It doesn't say
that it's
male.
not looking for a man to come out.
So let's come in and look at that.
For a woman.
What is the word male?
And it's being worn, and she is coming out, meaning her soul is being activated.
Okay, so let's leave that there. We're just going to leave that here, and we're going in now to look at some of the other things. This is the document. We're going to make that smaller in case I need to open this up. Actually, let's close out of that. Let's come into here. Great. We're going to make another step. I'm going to see if I can open this up. I have that open because Matthew 23 warns you about the scribes and the Pharisees and what they will do. And as I've told you, this is scripture for all, so we're going to go back into this in a moment. It's actually Abba, and Abba is about the goddess. They use Patera here, but what he would have said in Aramaic was not Patera. He would have said Abba for the goddess. Or the he, she, or the she, he, because it's mostly feminine. So let's come out of this. And he warns you, the rabbi means Lord. It doesn't mean teacher. It means master. It means Lord. Iman also means master and Lord, and it's related to Imam, which was in Egypt. These are not good, so you might want to think of them as Baal. That would be a good way of thinking of them. And those of us that understand something about Christianity understand the highly negative aspect of Baal. But here we're talking about the priest and the reverends and those people who lie and how they sit at the front of everything. So let's come over here, because there are a few areas of Revelation where we're going to look up this Irani. This is one. And it does talk about a child to be delivered, to be birthed in her belly. It's not really in the belly. 10, it talks about the dragon. The child as soon as it's born, that she may be delivering the offspring. It is just the word offspring. It's not boy. It's just offspring right there. It could be any offspring, girl or boy. Here we go. 5. Here is the word. You're going to see Irani. Where is the word? Here's the word offspring again, toward God and the throne of him. And she brought forth, that is son, but that is not male. So let's remember that's Irani. And there's another place where this occurs. It comes down here, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to do this more quickly. A man-child brought forth the male, a man-child, and you're going to see Nostradamus, and it probably is Nostradamus who wrote this originally, because the Sagittarians were the ones that took up in World War II. There were 7 of them. Winston Churchill, Stalin, Charles de Gaulle, Franco, Mackenzie. There was one more, I believe. There were 7 in total, and they were all Sagittarians and all on the same side. So even though if we don't get along all the time, we do manage to get together when it happens, and I do know Comey saw that I went in 2016 on October the 27th to show my information. He's also Sagittarian. Yes, part of Nostradamus's birthday. So here we go with a man-child, and here's the word Arrena here. They make R look like P. Now this is a nasty trick that they do, but that's what they do. Let's see who the founder of Athens and the Greeks were. This is this half dragon, half man called Cecrops, and we're going to see him in the images of the Lost Book of Nostradamus. So let's go in and take a peek, because he was the one that really put his finger on all women and basically destroyed the lives of women in Athens and in much of the world. And he is the backbone of Christianity. And Nostradamus talks about that. So let's talk about this. Here we go. Here I am, the Sagittarian woman, and we're closing out Pisces. We're not blaming Pisces. This is the book. This is the beastly individual for the book. And you're going to see what he has to say, and we are tearing up. And what it says is one male. I always thought that that was the Genesis story, because the Genesis story seems to say one male there as well, but it isn't. He really is talking about Revelations and what you're looking for, as well as the Genesis story. When we go through and when you look at this, you will see that God does not think highly of men. And here is Cecrops down here. Look at the beast. And it is the beast hand, the beast Leo hand, that's up here, and that is of the beast. one of the laments that occur within the Gnostic Gospels is Jesus laments that men chose the tree of animals. They emulate animals instead of emulating what God wanted you to be. And that's not what the Jews are teaching you. The Jews allow men to behave like animals too. So here we have, and Nostradamus is telling you, they are actually killing the lamb. And the one that's speaking to them, that they say is over this, is actually here, Cecrops right here. And he is the one that's really, we say it's the reptilian brain, but he's the one that's really there working with them. It's amazing. Yeah. Again, this is the Matterhorn. It tells us when under Cancer in July, when it was summited, as well as the smoking skull, or this rite of Degas, and it's Van Gogh. And it all happens within 20 years, and at least this all happens in Cancer. So he's really very on top of it. There's a lot of stuff he's on top of. Now, this is not in the other piece on the popes. That's much earlier. There are many things in this lost book of Nostradamus that are not, they're modified from that book, or they're not in it. And this is one of the things that is not in it. This is not in it. He's warning you. He's warning you here. He's saying that this is what you should be looking for. The deer that you're looking for, you're thinking of a younger woman. The one that is actually the Artemis is not coming out of July, it's coming out of December. And that would be me. And he's letting you know that the scrolls are all wrong. You're looking for a young woman, but you should be looking for an older woman. I said to Robert Jackson, the Leo lawyer who so led me astray and led us down, allowing us to be abused so badly. And here, of course, the arm is coming out. We have the cedar for Artemis. There's an awful lot here. We have not just the Greeks, but I've already gone into this. So let's come out of this, because I don't want to spend all of my time here. But there's a lot there. And I'm blaming the men. And I'm blaming the women who understood the translations. So this has basically been my life. The thing about the 7 rosette, oops, I don't want to spend my time here. The thing about the 7 rosette versus the 8, the 7 rosette is one of perfection, but you have to go through terrible hardship. And that is what I have. So you're going to see this started with Jupiter and Taurus in 2012. They went after me completely. Cancer is now to be changed to the name lobster. The queen bee and the poor woman are no longer good enough, and you will not go to heaven. You have to become more real, more responsible, less of an academic. You're not pandering to men. You are pandering to God, not men. So I need to come out of this for a moment. Oh, the priest or the pope who worships that tree has the dragon there with the eyes, the snaky eyes that come out. The priests and popes constantly pontificating about everything. I mean, it's just like Matthew 23. Jesus warns about this nonstop. There are a few other prophets that warn about this. So, Saya, let's go in and take a look once again and see what they have for Strong's Concordance. They have Aaron for male. Let's see what male really is. Here. Oh, let's put us on pause. So what we're going to do is do a search of Aaron, because according to this Strong's now, it's going to tell you that Aaron means male, which is new. Let's do male in Greek. Oh, let's see what it says. Translate. Now, see there's one R there? Let's listen to what it sounds like.
Arsen.
Arseniko, with an S right after it. There is no S in that Arrena. It's not here. What are the other ways that they have? Now this was just added, and they just put that in because I have it. That's in the there's one male. So when they say one male, that's not an adjective. And you will see that they just added this. Literally just added that. Amazing. All right. So this is not true right here. Let's go through and we can see this. Hold on. So I found it. I just did a Bing search today, and they have, now notice all of this is here, and you're going to see that in the other video. There is no ARR in here. Asinikos is there. This was the only thing that was there for adjective. The noun is this, all right, which is basically a form of arsenic. And it's in the other video that I showed you that I did, and let's see, I just did this today. Let's see if we can see properties for that. Settings, file, view, file, info. When did we do this? June the 26th, right, around 9 a.m. That's when I did it. So June the 26th, 9 a.m., this is here. This is going to show you what they do. And after I went through and pointed it out, that that's what was there, they went through and changed all this so that now they have just added the same thing. They've gone through and changed the site and added this. And that's what we're working with here. They read everything off my computer. This is about minute 15. Let's go back to this. This is what they changed it to since I've done this. And this is what was there. And they've gone through and done this all over the place. They have just done that all over the place. Is that it? Yeah. And again, there's nothing else to drop. It says see less, the same search. Well, and that's what it was. And that's how devious these men are. So let's come out of this. Right? It's not there. And let's go through now. So we're going to come out of this. And I'm going to take a screenshot of that so that we have that as well. Lovely. These men are so devious. This is why they cannot go to heaven. You can see. Oh dear. And you can see what's going to happen to their lives. So, this is not even the word for male. The word for male is, let's go find it. This AP, what's really there? It looks like a P, but it's R. All right? And it's not AV either. That's EB or AV, and that's not correct either. That's Abba, and they stole it from Abba, from the female goddess. Let's go in and see first who this Arrena is. This is the actual Arrena that you're looking at, the sun goddess Arrena. And she even has a sacred apple tree. Amazing. Her cult was centered in what was Istanbul, which, Constantinople. All right, related to the goddess Hippat. So let's come back and find this, and to show you how inferior the Hebrews and the Greeks were, and they were inferior. They think that the Hattis were illiterate, or some places say this online. These were related to the Hurrians. Here we have A for self, which is like us, and As for we. That should sound Alap. Now, in the Phoenician as well as the Greek, Alap is Alap, which it wasn't here, it was a P sound. And Alap meant language or tongue. Well, it makes perfect sense that A for Alap would mean language and tongue and would not mean bull, which is what it means in all of the Semitic language, the Phoenician language, the Greeks, and the Roman. That is absolutely nonsensical, and clearly they're writing and they're literate. They were very literate. They had writing before the Phoenicians did. They had writings before many of the other people did. All right, we have Anna, woman. Let's go in and see Ots. I have this already in the other video, so I don't want to spend too much time. Ots is earth. This is, you're going to see this all over the Hebrew Bible. Here's Arrena. Now, it means spring or fountain, just as my name Lynn does. Lynn also means spring or fountain. Among the Celtics, it means lake, but it's actually Lynn, and it's actually Lynn. It was originally an Anglo-Saxon name, which means spring, cascade, and sometimes a lake. This is Zion, the actual Zion. And fountain and spring, and she's from Ariana, the goddess name. And there we go. So we've already looked at her here. She is related to this one. And when they say it's a sun goddess over the earth, she was the goddess over their land, but this one was actually the goddess over the heavens. She was over the sun. No, literally over the sun. In the same way Nut was over the sun. Not the sun. She was over the sun gods. She is over the sun. She is of the heavens. Now, this is now a problem for men, because what do they have of the heavens? Well, that's a problem. I think we've done this. We have, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And let's go in, let's continue with this to see how this is going to work. And we also have the word, to give you some idea, we have Zeus here, Zeus. This is really, it doesn't come from diva. It does not come from the other form that makes this translation into Theo from from India, from Sanskrit over into Greek. This is actually Zeus. Here we go. Mountain meaning. Well, that's Arats. Where do we get that for a land country? Oh, they just changed that. How did we get Arats? They just changed that. So they just put that up. They didn't have anything. Earth for land. And of course, that's a cognate in Hebrew. That's what they have for earth. Oh, I know. There's Abed. And here we have Zeus. Okay? And Zeus is actually, they stole the word from this female-centered female, and they didn't go to war. They lived peaceful lives, as did the Hurrians prior to the men. And as did the Minoans, who are not the Mysians. So every time you put men in charge, you have war and prostitution and going to war and digging things up and dragging everything apart. And that's why in Genesis it says a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. Now they just changed this, by the way. And there's this mountain. And the synonym is actually, so let's close. And you're going to see the word, I wonder if they have it still up, Abed. And you can see anthro for here, the beginning of anthropology. There it is, human being. Let's see if they have the Abba here. And then we're going to go in and see all the other stuff. Aya, Awa, Abba. A-B, Aleph. Well, we did see the Aleph that's here. They actually have an Abba that's here as well. Let's go into these languages. They're not always politically correct either. Let's see if the Hittite has it. No, I don't think so. I'm almost positive it was there because I have photo. It was back in the Hattians, so it's not going to be here. Wow, when they start removing it because we find it, that's really too bad. I mean, that's really bad. Let's put us on pause for a moment. I have to apologize. It wasn't listed in the other location. It was listed here. Abadi Haba was supposedly the king over Jerusalem, who was Hurrian, means servant or ambassador of Haba. That's the Arrena letters. So there's testimony of them being there. So let's come back and see from Strong's. Let's come into Scripture for All. So here we have Arrena. Where do we have her? We had her up here. Excuse me. A man-child, and we know now that this is actually the goddess, and it's not male, and I'm going to go through and prove. Here we go. And 13. Or it could be the spring, the Zion, which is not Phoenician, it's not of Moses, it's not of Rome, it's of the Hurrians. It's a whole different group, and Isaiah does address it as well. Brought forth the man-child, it's then Arrena that's here. It's not that other word. What is this other word? Let's go to Strong's. This other word looks like arsenic. Yes, it does. So we're going to have to go look at that in the Greek because you are going to see it shortly. Let's go and see it here. One last area. And she brought forth the male. No, she brought forth, it wasn't the male child. And this is why Nostradamus is pointing that out. He's telling you that that's a lie. And they're talking about the vulture here, which the translation here is actually for an eagle. So why did they put vulture there? Because that is found in the Galepi Tepe. You will see the vulture, which is related to Sagittarius, as well as the vulture for Hippat Nakhibet in Egypt. And we bring your souls up to your next life. So let's go through and see this. And it talks about the remnant of her seed. Well, what is the remnant of her seed? This is really interesting. The rest of her seed. The virgin has her own sperm. It is not of male. And we're not talking about the Virgin Mary here. This is a special spiritual seed. And this is found in Isaiah. You're going to see the woman attested to. You're going to see Sarah attested to. You're going to see what was the Magdala, who's going to take down the beast, attested to. It's related to the Jesus, and it's not the Mary of Magdala that they're having you believe. And it's not me. Although it happened to me, and you have to go through those years of being crucified in order to be good enough to get this done. So here we have the Arrena that's there, and I would like to go back and spend just a few minutes. We have male here and strong so that you can see. Where's the strongs? Here we go. Matthew. Let's see if you see that Arrena in Matthew, or if you see the thing that looks like arsenic. Matthew 19. Matthew 19, Mark 10:6. Matthew 19. Is that Matthew 19? That's not right. Hold on. I did something wrong here. Matthew 19:4. Oh, excuse me. Matthew 19:4. I made them in the beginning male and female. So let's see if Arrena is there. And yet answering, he said to them, not dread the one making from beginning male. Oh no, they have Arsen there, not Arrena. Okay? They have Arsen. Let's see where Arsen fits. Let's look at Matthew 10:6. Made them male and female. What does he have from the original of creation? Oh, they have Arsen. They do not have Arrena there. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Let's take a look at this. Where do they have the Arsen? They have, that's all Arsen. Each one of these, none of them is Arren or Arrena. Each one of these is Arsen. The only place where they have, oops, excuse me, the only place where they have translated this as male is in Revelations. And then they went through and changed all the sites online, including this. Before this, so let's go into Galatians 3:28 and see if there's neither male nor female, and see if they have Arsen, because that's an AR, that's an S. Okay, Arsen, or let's see if they have. And notice how devious they are, because they actually don't even have Arrena listed here. They have A-R-S-E. They don't have Arrena listed for Revelations 12 or Revelations 13. Again, they don't have that listed for that. Let's see what they have here. Revelations 12:5. They have Arsen there. This is not the original. This is the only place where they've changed it. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Let's put you on pause. This is what I was looking for. This is here. Oh, this was in, and that's when I did it, you know, quite some time ago. And here's, and they don't have Arrena listed here at all. Arsenic masculine. That's what they'd have you. This is what it sounds like. And the male or masculine. So the noun is arsenic. That's what it sounds like, or masculine. Now I'm going to go into another site. Hold on. Okay, let's, this one is Hebrew, Greek, interlinear. I don't know. Maybe they just changed that one as well. But let's go see what Revelations has to say. And they have it there as well. So I wonder why they changed it for there. Hold hold on. And I wonder when that changed. Because if you look at all the other cases, it's not done. Oh, by the way, the Scripture for All has the book, and not all of these are the same. No, I can tell from this that it was actually changed, and you can see that it's been changed online. So yes, they can update. Let's go through and see when this is updated. Well, you can't find it. Let me go in and see the following. Oh. Okay, we're going to go in and just take a look at the Septuagint. And this is the Greek translation. We're going to see male and female. I don't know. Greek translation, the Hebrew. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Interlinear. Okay, here we go. Bible Geek. I believe it's the Bible Geek that has it. Should be coming up. I'm going to find male here. This is not what I really want. We'll find it above. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Okay. Cool. I had to find this here. So I had to go into Bing. Microsoft is going to be thrilled. Okay, here's Bing. Home, apology, introduction, resources, versions, contact, and let's go to the home. I think we should be home. We are home, about us, resources, quotations, graphics. This is not what I had. Oops. I can't pull up an easy translation of the Greek, so let's just go ahead and look at this, and I'm sorry to take up your time. Here we go. Romans, we have what would be this word, which is actually a form of arsenic. That's an AR, that's an S, that's the sigma, okay? And this is a form of arsenic, this is a form of arsenic, and what they have here for this is not the Arrena. So that is what's interesting, is that the Arrena is not there. These are all forms of arsenic, and these are where they tell you to look. So how does Bible Hub and all this lying that's going on, why did they, and we know why they changed it. None of this is that spelling. That spelling, that's not Arren. That's not how it's spelled. This is the arsenic, or this is the avus, or ebus. Oh, that's so cool. This is the, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what they call Arren, man, male, the original word, that's not it at all. Transliteration, that's not correct at all. They went through and changed all that. And what's really interesting is this is actually, they just went through and changed it. So these are all the words arsenic, all the words arsenic, or all the words that are part of arsen, which is, I think, is so telling. And all the words arsen, oh, here is Strong's Exhaustive Concord. It comes from arsen. No, it actually comes from arsen. And it's not Arrena at all. Now, what are some of the links? And none of these are the Arrena. So what they go through and show it, and yet they went through and changed the Bible link and change the whole thing there. So we should see stuff here because all of this is here that has nothing to do with Arrena. We should find the word that says Arsen. Let's see if there's more here. Strong's Concordance. It's not there. And this is actually Arrena, and it's not, I mean, this is not Arrena, this is a form of Arsen. And it's not that. But this is not true because that would be the goddess. And this is why Nostradamus is pointing it out, because they know that they're lying. All right. So when we go through and see this for Romans, let's see what they have for this word. In fact, you can't even find it anymore. You could this morning. You could click on it and find it this morning, but they have taken it off completely. So let's see. Oh, I know. A variant reading for arson. None of this is true because all of the words use arson in everything. And it's only in those two sections where Arrena is used. Only those two sections. And it's not found, and Arrena is not used for arson in anything else. So let's come over here and look this up. In means, it means male. Okay.
Arsen.
Arsen or but see, no, it's not Aaron here. Roman 3 times. Well, what is that in Roman 3 times? Oh no, that they used the word arson there. So let's go find that. And you're going to see that arson is used in all of these places. It's never Arrena, sadly. Okay? So let's go into scripture for all. Because it seems they seem to be lying a whole lot less than Bible and these other places. So no, Arren or Arrena is always for the goddess, and it's never for male. Holy smokes. And they actually went through and changed it online while I was there. I showed you the changes that were made just in the course of a day to cover their asses. Excuse me, there's no nice way to say this, and I'm sorry. Now, male. So let's go in and see. It's translated Romans 3, male child. No, it's not. It's arson here, but it's not here. So let's go into Romans 1:27. Right here. Romans 1:27. And here's the word asemus, arson, and it's not Arenas, it's not for Aaron, it's not for the goddess. It's all over actually that way. So they went through and changed it with the Bible Hub. Holy smokes. Wow. So let's go back in and look at Bible Hub for a moment. Press on pause. Okay, let's see what I have here. I don't know if they changed it. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I want Greek. And I want arson. Uh-huh. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Bible Hub Greek. They have Arsen, male, and then they have Aaron. So let's see what this says. And arson occurs in all of the Old Testament. Oh, look at this. And she brought forth a male child. Here they're agreeing that it says arson. Oh my goodness gracious. Like, do they ever stop? No, they don't. And of course, there's all of the Old Testament as well. So this is, and in the course of just in the course of me putting this online that it was a lie, I can't take this down. They have gone through and changed all of these things online to cover their sin. That's what they've done. Incredible. Incredible. And they're admitting that it's not Aaron. They're admitting it's arson. And they went through and actually changed the stuff online. That is why these men, especially, they are diabolical and they work with Satan. Thank you. Let's go in. Thank God for this, and thank God I got a chance to see it first. Let's go in and see another one of their strongs. Let's look at their Galatian. Romans 1:27. We did Romans 1:27. Oh, and they have arson here, and they have arson here. And then they went through and they actually changed it. Can you look what they did? They actually changed it. Incredible. And they have this listed as the main statement when it isn't. That's incredible. What do they have here? Let's see what they have here. And they changed it. And yet, and it came to pass to finish. What number was this one? I can't remember. I mean, first of all, they're saying it's arson here, but let's see what they actually have there. Because they changed it. But they didn't change it here. Incredible. In the beginning, male. Oh, there's arson and female. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, folks. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. And we're just going to do this really quickly. That's that one. That's this one. Let's do arson. Where's arson? And what is the Greek child? Is it arson? It's going to be arson that's there. And what do they agree it says? And what does it actually say? And they have arson there. And they did not put Arrena there. And yet, they're saying that Arrena is there. Oh, this is too much. Arsen is right there. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they went through and they changed everything. What's 13? 13. The mountain, they have Arsena. They put Arsen there, and it isn't even there. That's not the word that was there. It's Arrena. And they have that it says Arrena here. Oh my goodness. I just, what do you do with them? I've got to say goodnight. Good night.